Hello, guys. This is Paul McMillan II. Welcome to another forward testing session. And this time I'm going to actually do it on Michael Gold futures. So the market just opened up about 44 minutes ago. So I hope you guys had a good weekend, and it's November 30th. I've already checked the news earlier, so we don't have any news on the USD or anything on gold. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get started on the daily time frame. Now, we have consolidation on this daily candle, so we can't necessarily really use it at this point. The only time we can really develop a daily bias on a daily candle is if there's some volume. So if this was the daily candle right now, we can actually go off of that. But this is a doji, so it looks like there's consolidation on the daily. So we need to go to the 4 hour to actually figure out what's going on. And as you can see, so let me actually do this. Let me take the vertical line here. And I like to use the vertical line because it lets me know, okay, from this point on, how much volume did price close on the 4 hours. And I go to the 4 hour and we can still see that there's still consolidation. So there's really nothing going on. Okay. So because of that, let's erase this. It's still consolidation. Now we need to figure out what's going on the 1 hour, but we can mark up our buy side and sell side liquidity. So we have liquidity here is equal lows. And then we also have liquidity up here. Now, once we mark up our buy side and sell side liquidity, this is what's going to actually help us to narrow it down. Let's figure out a point of interest, which I can say is one of these here. So our 4 hour fair value gap. So probably looking more right here. So let's mark this up. And I'm marking this up for a reason, because if price for some reason decides to invalidate this fair value gap, it might actually come down to this one and manipulate. But that's what I've got so far. We had a slight sweep here. This is a slight sweep. Fair value gap close. So we could say that price is currently bullish. Now we see prices sweeping this area, but there's liquidity up to here, which is why, even though we had a sweep here, I would look for price to actually come down and manipulate this 4 hour fair value gap. That's what I'm thinking at this point. But let's go to the 1 hour so that way we can kind of zoom in with the microscope, so to speak, and figure out what price wants to do. So this is the 4 hour fair value gap. But once again, you still have liquidity up here. Now price manipulated this area. So we have manipulation here. So price might be ready to go up. But this is the 1 hour fair value gap. And the reason why, and I'm sorry, I'm going to mark the 4 hour fair value gap here. Because if price decides to invalidate this fair value gap, then I'm looking for them to target this liquidity here, sweep it, and then go back up. But if this fair value gap holds and they decide to shoot on up, then we could target a reasonable TP up to here. So this would be my TP1 if price invalidates this fair value gap. Now, we'll make this TP2, maybe target this fair value gap here, just to move that up if price decides to go bearish. But we're currently bullish. So I don't see price coming back. Well, let me back up. I don't see price ultimately coming all the way back here. But this is a normal pullback. They may come back as far as here. But we had our manipulation here. So I'm thinking this is probably short manipulation of the bears and the distribution of the bulls. So because we weren't able to develop a daily bias, We're just gonna look for a three-bar pattern on here. And we'll see if we get a fair value gap close. Then I might take it up to a reasonable TP up here. I don't necessarily see another high that we could target. So we just have to pick one. So then I would probably do a reasonable TP, maybe up to here. This might be somewhat realistic. TP that. Now, once again, we need to see if this fair value gap gets invalidated. But there's liquidity up here. So price wiped out liquidity here, did a sweep here. So if this gets invalidated and we get a fair value gap close after this gets invalidated, then I would set it down to this TP, maybe down to this one, no pun intended. But if this one holds, if we get a fair value gap close here, then we can go straight up. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the next candle, see what the next candle does. That's going to really help us determine what price is trying to do. So we got less than 10 minutes. So I will be right back. We'll see what we get. We've got about 10 seconds. I think volume's trying to come in. We'll see. Let's see. This is the three-bar pattern. This may be the manipulation wick, liquidity rate, the liquidity rate wick. But we would need to see a fair value gap close above this to even consider even going up. So probably going to wait for the next candle. We set this up in my phone so I can watch it. This is actually the 1 hour. I don't know why I forgot to change to the 15 minutes. So let me change to the 15 minute. See the 15-minute is same. Okay, yeah, so we got a three-bar pattern, liquidity wick, and all that stuff here. So let me see something here. Let me see. Yeah, so we wait for fair value gap close. Got a rating here. Got a strong rating. So I will TP or the pricing dollar based these fair value gaps and I'll put down here. But we're talking about TP in the 15 minute. So yeah, let's wait for the next candle. See if we get a fair value gap close. Yeah, we'll see. So I will be right back. Got a liquidity rate here. That's a candle here. We'll see if we get a close, fair value gap close here. It's like on a 5-minute, we have rate and fair value gap close here as well. See if the 5-minute does second here. Let's close with some volume, so we'll enter in on the 5-minute here. Put my entry here. Might basically target this high, but put our stop loss down here. I'll put the TP here, but I might actually target this high here, maybe close it because I'm doing 15. So we'll see how far we get. Uh, I will pause this recording. I'll be right back. Looks like we're getting some volume here. I did enter in on my top one futures account to 25K account. Look here, looks like we're starting to get into a little bit of a profit. So we'll see how we go as time goes on. See what's back to it. So if we get a little bit closer to our TP up here, then I'll probably resume this recording. Right back and this TP there, basically. That. So, bounce here, maybe. So we'll see. Looks like we're getting some good traction here. Let me check my top one futures account. Take care of that first. So watch over this first. Get it to $100 profit, and I'm gonna say manage my risk. So we'll see if we can do that. Pause this recording real quick here. I'll be right back. Okay, it looks like price might be starting to trying to push up, maybe. Yeah, that order block is there.
Order filled.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close out on this account. $10, not bad. Yeah. The price was just retracing. Might go one more time. If we lose, then that's okay. We'll just take it in, but I'm waiting for the reset. We'll sweep this area. Got a little bit over a minute left. If we close with some volume and validate this order block, then I might enter in again in my top one futures account, but we'll see. Close with any volume. So no. I want to enter in on my top one futures account. Might wait for the next candle to validate this. And we'll see in 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. Okay, I decided to do one more trade for this top one futures account. Of course, if we lose this one, that's okay. We just manage our risk and we'll see what happens. Once we start getting the profit, then I'll resume this recording. I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close on my practice account. We close with about at least 500. Let me just see here. Yeah. Pause this recording. I'll be right back. Now we'll see if we can do well on this account. Maybe. I should just really go to the back. See what the next candle does. Market just opened, so it's understandable. 2, 1. It's not very close with a lot of volume. Jump out and leave this part of the long season. Might be that. Getting some decent volume here. Looks like the order block is disappearing. So this might be a good sign. Let me check my top of futures account. Okay, over $100 here. Let me put in the break even on that. I should have just quoted it at 16, but I have so quick. But no, now. It's telling me it was over 100. It's going to close it. 16, 18, 20.
Order full.
So now we just made 100. Let's see, a 30th, $116 here. So let me just document this. Tonight. Price, it looks like it's hitting past our TP, so we actually did good. So this is great. So again, the top one futures we made $116. So that's good. So I'm going to log out here. Then over a rapid recession. So that's it. So you guys tomorrow. Bye.